We're extremely pleased to play good, sound basketball on both sides of the ball against a program we have a lot of respect for. Tulsa's young, but they have a lot of talent in that locker room, and they've played really good basketball at times. But I thought our home court, the fans, the students, the energy in here set the tone from the tip. I thought even the first 5 minutes of the game, we may have been a little bit too amped up to play, and that's probably a contributor to the turnovers. But we're grateful for the people to come out and bring the juice like they did today.
Speaking of setting the tone, you guys really did that with the perimeter defense. They only made 4 threes on 28 attempts. And how important was that to get things going to start the game against this Tulsa team?
Well, in any basketball game, if you don't do a good job at defending the three and they score at the rim, it's probably a recipe for disaster. You better score a lot of points. And we needed to do a good job at the three-point line because they're so effective at the rim and in the paint and drawing fouls. I thought in the first half we did a really nice job, and then in the second half they were able to get into space and find ways to draw fouls.
Even though you guys have been winning, Dusty, how valuable was it to have a full week of practice to sort of work on what you guys need to work on?
Yeah, it was such a tough balance of do we practice and do we add and do we subtract, or do we take some time? And we probably didn't take enough days off. We probably should have taken 2 off in a row, but we just decided to go a little bit more mild every day and just go in smaller chunks. But I thought we looked fast. I thought we looked athletic. Other than B.J. Greenlee's last possession, I thought the guys really had good bounce and all that. I thought Vlad looked as healthy as he has since before Christmas. And, now that he's getting healthy, I can say it. But when you look at our defensive metrics before the Arizona game and after the Arizona game, it's 2 completely different teams. And the only difference was Vlad was a little bit banged up. We probably should have tried to hold him a couple of games, but he has so much value adds so much value to our team. We couldn't afford it because we're chasing at-larges and we're chasing all this other stuff. So he stayed the course. And he played really, really well. Both of these guys did. We got contributions from a lot of people today. Our guards rebounded well. We shared it. 16 assists on 32. I think it was 16 assists on 32 baskets. So very, very unselfish effort by our squad.
Coach, the offense seems to flow more and score more when Johnell is ball dominant. Is getting him in isolation something you want to incorporate more in the offense going forward?
Well, I don't know if we can incorporate it anymore. He's got a very, very high usage for a team that's as potent as we are. Johnell, I thought after the first 4 minutes, he looked really fast. I'll be honest, he looked really, really quick, really fast. I don't think we let the game come to us the first 4 minutes and we didn't get into a good rhythm. Fortunately, I think it was 4-4 after the first meeting, so we kind of held it in the road. And then once we all kind of just gave into the game of whatever happens, happens. But I think Johnell knows when it gets late clock or when there's a big possession, we like to get them in space, and I think if you asked anyone in our league, they're all very well at that. So I don't know if we can anymore though, JJ. We'll try.
This is for Vlad or for Johnell. You guys look like you were having the most fun that you've during the course of the game. Was this game particularly fun to play?
Every game is fun to play. We just need to remember that that's why we do it. And I literally talked this morning with coach about it. And we found something common that why we play this game, why he coaches game. So just have fun. That's fun.
Johnell, you guys have been down to the wire a lot this year. How nice was it to not have a game like that for what seems like the first time in a minute?
It just took a lot of pressure off the coaches and us, and we got other guys to come in and play.
Vlad, you had 18 points, including back-to-back posters early on in the first half. How does it feel to get back into that momentum and being an enforcer down low?
Good. I like it. My teammates finally open shot, and I just need to finish them. That's why I tried to do it.
Coach, Tulsa played a pretty physical game, especially in the second half. 2 flagrant fouls. What do you have to say about the team's effort to just stay in the game and just keep playing basketball?
Well, I thought our effort and aggressiveness going after the offensive rebounds forced them to maybe play a little bit out of frustration. If we weren't crashing and we weren't playing physical as well, then that probably wouldn't happen. But I thought our guys played with a lot of purpose tonight, and going forward, that's how we have to be. We have to take what the game gives us, and they're putting 2 and 3 on Nelly at the first 10 minutes, and he got off the ball, and then we got to the second and third side quickly, and that's where Vlad was able to get those dunks because these guys are generating so much attention away from the ball, and if we can continue to move it. We're in a pickle I'm in a pickle as a coach. Our staff's in a pickle. We need to give Vlad more touches. As efficient, as effective as he is, we need to get Nelly more isolations, JJ. We need to find ways to get Nick Boyd some open shots and BJ Greenlee. These guys are career 40% three-point shooters, but that's the price of playing on a really talented basketball team with a lot of weapons. Tonight might be his night. Tonight might be his night, and tomorrow might be Jalen Gaffney's night.
Can you talk about the ball defense against Haggerty and Kobe Williams in the first half? They were taking maybe some low percentage threes because their guards weren't getting anything.
Yeah, I thought we just did a really nice job at the point of attack, stopping the ball, having gaps, having intensity off the ball, and probably human nature kicked in. We had a nice lead, and sometimes you lose your defensive edge, a lot like you do when you're not making shots. And we all can, as coaches, can say this and say that, but anyone that's ever played basketball knows when those shots are going in, you have better energy, you have better. It's why you play. Scoring's fun. So. The days the shots aren't going in, we just have to find ways to be just as determined on that side of basketball.
Because you brought up Freely a couple of times, I have to ask, did you think he was going to get it down?
I did. He slowed down. I told him, I said, Zane, our strength coach, does an unbelievable job. And I said, but he's making him look bad. That's the strength coach's scoreboard or those breakaway dunks. So BJ's got to do better. I would just like the 2 points, but it's so in character for our team that it turned into a BJ 3 the same possession, if I remember correctly. The staff reminds me a lot when I get frustrated if we miss a dunk, and we'll usually tip it out and hit a 3, and they'll hit me on the shoulder and say, Coach, 3 is better than 2. So there's another example of that happening.
Coach Mack.
Any more questions for Johnell because he has to go? No.
Coach,
Gotcha.
9-point performance from Trey Carroll coming off the bench. One of those included an and one where he had a little bit of a mullet shake after. Can you talk about his confidence coming off the bench?
Yeah, Trey is such a talented offensive player. He when he checks in, I was actually disappointed he didn't try to score when he skipped it out in the first half. His touch, his ability to stay on balance, to play through contact. I didn't see the mullet shake.
It happened.
I'll check the film. We've got several angles. I'm anxious to see it now, but I thought Trey brought a lot to this team. His defense has continued to improve. His rebounding, his physicality. I think when you look at where Trey is now compared to where he was in November, he's a much better basketball player, and it's because his work ethics continue to improve. He's been very intentional in practice, and he wants to do better, and he's a great teammate that puts the team in front of himself every single night.
Any update on Rosado's timetable with his recovery?
He's right on course. I don't know the date of 4 weeks. He'll be reevaluated the 4 weeks. So if it hasn't been 4, he'll be reevaluated on that 4, and we'll go from there.
And with all,
he looks great. He's been very active in our practices mentally. But I whenever that 4 week comes, I'll let everybody know whatever information I have.
It's February, and it seemed to me that you were more animated, a little more juiced on the bench tonight than maybe I've seen in some games. Is there a coincidence to that it get to be that time of the year?
Yeah, I spent all week preaching that this needs to be fun and we need to have fun, and then I think I was just trying to run the fun. No, we have such high standards, and I don't ever want us to play the scoreboard. If whatever it is, when we set foot and we pride ourselves on, there's a way that we believe this game should be played, and we have to be determined to play that. So we're building habits, and we're building habits and rituals that will work in March against the best teams. So I'm going to be very, very stubborn that if we feel like as a staff that we're drifting away from our standards and our baseline, then I'll be a little bit more animated. But I don't think we play any better when I'm animated. I don't think we play any worse. We have great ownership in our locker room, and these guys want to do the right thing. So a lot of times it's just simply being reminded. But I'll use this last analogy. It's like marriage, where you're dating someone. I've dated my wife a long time ago, and if she said something to me about leaving my sweatshirt on the couch, I'd probably say, "Baby, I'm sorry." And now she says something, oh, what's it matter if the sweatshirt's on the couch? And that's kind of where our guys are. They've been together so long, they usually know what to do. And so they coach each other a lot, and they just kind of, it seems like this year they've irritated each other a lot. And so I just equated it to like a long, healthy marriage, that things just change, and we all have to be very, very conscious of how much time we've spent together and not be, I guess, so animated towards each other. So that's a long way to answer your question, but we have a long way to go, but we feel like we're moving in the right direction.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Vlad.
Don't tell my wife.
You just got the service.